Hi, I'm Simon Sharwood from ITNews.com.au, and you're listening to our occasional podcast series, Under the Hood, today sponsored by NEXTDC. Today's show is all about data centre security, and to understand that, I need to go and visit a data centre. I'm here walking into NEXTDC. Let's see what it takes to get inside the facility.
NEXTDC.
Hi, Simon Sharwood to see Steve Martin.
Yeah, no problem. Push the gate.
Hi, Simon Sharwood to see Steve Martin.
Hi, Simon. Welcome to NEXTDC. I can see Steve Martin booked you in today. Give you guest access.
Great.
Scan the fingerprints.
Okay, fingerprint.
When you're ready, we do other.
What's up? Oh, hi Steve, good to see you.
How you doing?
Good, thanks mate. Here we are in the lobby at NEXTDC.
Welcome.
Thank you. Let's go inside. What do I have to do first before I get anywhere near a customer server?
So once you've got through the gazebos and you do need your biometric access to complete that process, you've then got to swipe your card to get into a data hall. You've then got to swipe your card to get into a rack. Okay. So quite a lot of security just to get to where your equipment lies.
And then I swipe again to get into my specific rack?
That's correct. You can swipe, and importantly, when you swipe to open your rack, your business is issued an immediate digital record of who opened what racks in your across all of your racks, when they were opened, when they were closed. All of that information is recorded electronically and immediately available to those that are authorised in your business.
So my boss would get an email or an alert somewhere that says Simon just checked in, opened the rack containing X, Y, and Z.
That's correct. That's correct.
And so I think it's 6 swipes to get up to my equipment, and that's after handing over my photo ID and biometrics and all of that.
That's correct. But it's important to note that as a visitor, you're unable to open any racks yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
So as a visitor, you have none of those rights.
But I'm also on video. I'm seeing a lot of cameras here. Hundreds
of cameras and tracking you every time you swipe. So we're following you as you make your journey throughout the building.
So if I'm the kind of person, the kind of customer who usually comes in during the day and suddenly I check in at 3 a.m, does that set off a red flag?
Not necessarily. We talked about in an earlier episode some of the challenges with IT and IT systems that will fail from time to time. So the benefit of NEXTDC is we are a 24/7 facility, and as a customer, you can access 24/7. In fact, I have many people that do a lot of their maintenance work in those wee hours of the morning because the customers of their business are unlikely to be accessing, or the staff are unlikely to be accessing their IT at that time.
What happens if I come in and then I try to go to the wrong hall or the wrong rack? Does the video pick that up? Do the identity systems pick that up?
So look, it's a very good question. You can try to do these things, but the security systems just won't let you through. Your card is encoded with your access path, and it doesn't let you go and access any other areas that aren't on your path to your racks.
And what if I do something a bit weird while I'm here?
Well, there are many weird things that may happen in society as well as in data centres. So weirdness in and of itself is not necessarily a concern. But as I mentioned earlier, our facilities people do keep a constant eye on the security cameras. And if there is some suspicious behaviour, you can expect a visit from one of our guys very, very quickly.
Okay. And we've gone through another security checkpoint. Just over in the corner there, I see this kind of really robust fencing, and it sounds like it's even louder over there. What's that section of the data centre?
Without talking specifics, what you're pointing to is one of our customer cages. And that one happens to be a cloud provider. And our cloud provider customers are using incredibly high density equipment. So tons and tons of compute into a very, very small area. And therefore much faster, much bigger, much louder fans to move more or a higher volume of cold air through that equipment to keep it operating at optimal temperatures.
And why have they got these, really quite imposing cages around their kit?
Well, I think that's actually a really good message for you and for me and for everybody else that uses the cloud. Our cloud provider customers take physical security as well as digital security incredibly seriously. And so they provide extra security measures such as these hard steel cages separating their physical environment from everybody else's physical environment.
Okay, and because they've got hundreds and thousands of customers, that little extra security matters to them.
They take security incredibly seriously, and as a customer of the cloud, I'm thankful for that.
Okay, so we're out of the data hall now, and it's much quieter here. In fact, we're now in the NEXTDC chill space. Tell us about your other security features here.
So there are a broad range of security features that we implement by standard or by default, as well as a lot of additional extras that we can offer for customers that want to go that extra step. So we've talked briefly about security to get to your racks and how to get into the racks so that our racks are electronically secured so that your business gets an immediate record of when you've accessed the rack. Another component of that is we can tie your access as an employee into the employer's Active Directory system. So
enterprise policy can extend out to access here.
That's exactly right. So if you happen to go rogue and the business that you work for wants to sack you immediately, they would disable you in their Active Directory so you couldn't get access to your email or other things inside the business. By disabling your Active Directory, they have immediately disabled your access into NEXTDC.
Nice.
That's incredibly powerful. Most other data centers, that's a manual process. So somebody in your business has got to remember to ring up another data center company, and it's a manual process.
Yeah, okay. Automation.
Here, customers are in control of their own staff and who accesses what.
Okay. And what about at a physical level? I mean, there's a really imposing fence outside.
So we do everything from anti-scaling fences that surround the entire perimeter, multi-levels of access. We have multiple man traps. So man traps are what we call the Gunabo system. So you can only let one person in at a time, and that person has to have biometric authority to do so. In our delivery docks area, we have multiple man traps that prevent couriers from entering the building. They can come into the loading dock, make a delivery in a sealed off environment, and only after they've left do we close one set of doors and open another set to bring that delivery further into the building. So physical security, there's lots of components there. Rack security, we even have, so our racks that we've been talking about so far, very secure, as you've seen. We can take it a step further and offer government grade security in a rack, something that we call Class C racks, and really step up that security an extra level. Super solid doors, multiple locking points, very specialist locking systems, even metal enclosed sealed connectivity. Wow. So that the cables coming out of these racks can't be tampered by anybody else.
Am I hyping it up to say the glass is bulletproof?
Good point. So you're absolutely correct. The glass that you see across the perimeter of the building and through the gunnabos is approximately 2 centimetres thick, ballistic grade glass. We need to account for all risks, whether they be high probability or low probability. And that's part of the design that we put into all of our buildings day one.
That was Steve Martin, and that was the last in this season of Under the Hood, ITNews occasional podcast series. This series was brought to you by NEXTDC, but as we mentioned at the start of the series, sometimes Under the Hood will be sponsored, and sometimes it'll just feature stories we think need to be told with voice instead of in words. So keep your ears on IT News for the next series of Under the Hood. For IT News, signing off, I'm Simon Scholl.